Hey there, BookTube. Noah. Everyone who reads it must converse is the channel. This is the Arcturus Press edition of the Divine Comedy by Dante. So I got this for very cheap as well. I don't know what why, since because it is just an awesome edition. I took the dust jacket off. The dust jacket has the exact same thing going on, front, side, and back. All the words, everything is on the dust jacket as well. So I took it off for us to take a look at it. This is actually done very well. I would love to get my hands on the Taschen Blake's illustrations for the Divine Comedy. They actually have an edition with this as the cover. Now, for those that have seen the Dore illustrations, the etchings for the Divine Comedy, you can see the difference. This is Dante and Virgil being set down on the 7th ring of hell by the demon there. And, Blake's depiction of it is very different than Gustave Dor's depiction of it. And it's very interesting to compare those things. This is just illustrated beautifully. It was amazing to find this. All the list of plates is there. And I mean, there's just so many that I just don't know why this was really as cheap as it was. But I'm not complaining. I mean, I got it. It's just what I wanted, to have Blake's illustrations for the Divine Comedy here. And the best version of it is, of course, Taschen's edition, full color, and Taschen's version is even more oversized than this one. So this is the beginning, Dante running from the three beasts, right? And Gustave Dore, depicts these beasts as regular beasts. The panther, the lion, and the she-wolf. Well, William Blake does no such thing, right? This is three very horrifying beasts. And the middle one there, who is, I guess, the lion, actually looks like how William Blake would depict Behemoth in the Job plates and things like that. Let me see if I can get that glare off the page. Alright, so this is Virgil approaching Dante and saying, hey, I'm commissioned to take you through hell. Come with me. We're going to go on a very horrific journey together. Right? At the gates of hell. You have the inscription there at the top. Dante and Virgil in awe. Dante in awe and fear as he walks through the gates. The illustrations in here are not, there's just, not near as many as Dore. I'm sorry. But I'm a William Blake. I love William Blake. You know that. Anybody watching my channel knows that. And so this is the lustful, where, Gustave Dore shows them in a circle, just being whipped around in a big circle. And Blake actually has them being whipped up into this kind of spiral. This edition here has the complete sorry about that. This edition here has the complete Divine Comedy in text. It has Inferno here, Purgatory, and Paradise. So I'm gonna just skip through that, but it is very, very readable, and to have all of these illustrations with it is great. Blake was an amazing artist, and you'll see a lot more, and I see a lot more inspiration in Blake's illustrations for this than the other that we saw. Gustav Doré just basically depicts in his etchings exactly what is said, you know, and he does it very skillfully, and he does a great job. But it's not very inspired. With William Blake's here, you can see inspiration in almost every picture. Some of these are in varying degrees of being finished. Like I said, he was working on these when he died, and that's the Minotaur there. The wood of the murderers of self. So these are people that have committed suicide. The suicides have their own place in hell, right? The hellhounds. Chasing and running down people who destroy their own goods. So, you see, varying degrees of being finished in some of these. But like I said, even those that are almost finished or something like that, they're beautiful. The colors are beautiful. This is Blake, after he had done all of his illuminated works in his life. The symbolic figure of the course of human history is what this is called. This is when Dante and Virgil get a ride on a demon to be carried down to another level of hell. And so there's just more imagination in these depictions of Dante's Inferno than in the other, I think, across the board. There's just more inspiration and imagination put into the pictures. There's a more well-known one. This is a real pleasure to read and go through. The angel or the two demons warring, fighting. Blake was so good at this. Those twisted limbs, these kind of positions that are they're not, a broken limb, but they're just in this weird position that that you think, man, there's, it gives such activity to the picture. Blake's use of lines was definitely something to behold, right? The punishment of the thieves there. This is the same picture as like the cover of the other one, where Dante and Virgil are conversing with the beheaded men. Very, horrific scenes everywhere in Dante's Inferno, of course. And, you're in hell with them. Titans. There's the picture from the that I showed in the beginning. Antaeus the Demon setting Dante and Virgil down on that lower level, which is the final circle of hell, that final ring. And they couldn't have got down there on their own. They needed the demon to put them down there. And so you see the difference in how it is depicted. Here is Blake's depiction of Lucifer here, unfinished, not completely finished, but you see the three heads and how Lucifer is encased in ice up into his waist. And then there's just the ice with people completely encased in ice. There's your final ring of hell. Purgatory. And there are less, sorry about that, I just hit the tripod. There are less pictures as we get higher and higher, because they were not finished. Blake wanted to do the whole thing, but it was his time. The thieves, right, or the proud, that are carrying rocks, carrying their loads up, purging their pridefulness. Very well spaced. This is a pleasure to go through. The pages are beautiful. The little flowering around the numbers and the titles. Here's where the lustful are being burned up by holy fire, purging their sin. Dante at the moment of entering the fire is what this is called. So there's Dante at his moment of entering the fire. And there they have a little repose. Virgil watching over his sleep from this huge journey that they've had so far. And they continue. Now here is one of the most popular. Beatrice shows up on a kind of, they describe it as a vehicle in Dante's Divine Comedy. And so there's Beatrice up on top. You see this vehicle is a divine vehicle. You have just all this amazing coloring. Obviously Blake worked on that one a lot. The beast, or the whore of Babylon, the harlot and the giant. So there's the multi-headed beast, and this is what Blake did. You see the beast, the multi-headed beast there is wearing all the different crowns of the world. There's the papal tiara, the Canterbury cap, the bishop's mitre, the crown, the king's crown, and so on. So he was making a commentary, you know. And he did that very well all the time. Blake would actually make a commentary in his art about the current state of politics or religious spiritual understanding. Dante adoring Christ. The angel recording everything in his book. And there we go. We are right there. St. Peter and St. James with Dante and Beatrice below. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this little run through Dante's Divine Comedy as illustrated by the master, William Blake. Two masters coming together here, right? The master of Italian epic poetry and a master of the visual medium of all kinds, William Blake. Dante. So I appreciate you sticking with me, BookTube. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. I love sharing these beautiful books. Bye-bye.